So last week I was having a movie night with my friends, and honestly it has been quite a while since a movie scene has blown me away like this one did. It's from an older movie called Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and this one is definitely one of my favorites now. Today we're going to analyze the opening scene from a cinematography, lighting and shot choice perspective, and I guess, let's go! Why do I like this scene so much? First of all, I think it's perfectly executed. The whole scene just sucks you in. Second of all, it plays with suspense in a way that not many other movie scenes have managed to pull off. And thirdly, it looks super beautiful. For us cinematographers, that's also a very important point. If we break it down, it has a total of 7 single shots, 2 OTS shots, 5 wide shots and 3 medium shots. The scene has 2 main characters and 5 additional background characters. Before we start analyzing the film, I have to say that the whole cinematography style is actually based on camera movement. So there's barely any shot in the movie that's not moving, which makes this scene an exception. The sequence starts with one of the last moving shots in the scene. It's slowly pushing in sideways, and we can see that this is meant to be an establishing shot because we can read the sign on the right side, which shows us that the location is Budapest. The main character of the movie is meeting with a potential informant, and he doesn't know yet if he knows that he's a spy as well. So after the location is set, we have the establishing shot for the main cafe scene. This one has extremely moody lighting. From the right side of the frame, you can see that just behind the wall they put a light there shining onto the chairs and onto our main characters. Picture-wise, there are like a lot of interesting things that we can discover in this shot. First of all, they use the coat/jacket as a foreground, and as soon as it disappears, we can see a cleaner, which is actually a brilliant choice because they had an excuse now to make the floor wet, which makes the whole picture look even better. The foreground, the animals, and the wet floor, in combination with the practical lighting in the background and the key light from the right side, just make this shot absolutely gorgeous. I've been talking about the color palette a lot in the latest videos, and I think there's a reason for it. It's really important that everything in the frame has the right colors, and these multi-million budget kind of movies just perfectly stick to it. In this case, they went for a desaturated look with orangey highlights, very black shadows, and light greenish midtones. And here in our next shot, which is like one of the main over-the-shoulder shots, you can already see that they matched the wardrobe as well. The woman in the background is wearing a green jacket. Our main characters have dark brownish, black and white wardrobe, and the chairs also fit these brown midtones that are part of the color palette. This shot is completely stationary, and in the background you can already see a mother with a baby that will be important later. If we have a look at the lighting here, we can see that there is an edge light coming from the top right corner, just positioned outside of the frame, that is illuminating the right side of his jacket. And there is most likely also a top light, because on the left main character and on the waiter's tablet, on the chair on the left side and on the forehead of our main character guy, we can see that there is a top light in place. So there's most likely just a top light around here in the frame. Then there is a simple reverse shot. The scene just continues normally, the waiter keeps serving, and lighting-wise I think it's just a huge softbox frame on the right side this time, also just outside of the frame. You can see that the extra in the background is actually hit by the light more frontal, as he's sitting too far behind, which kind of indicates that they set up the key light for the main actor's face, but yeah, the extra in the background is hit a bit too frontal by it, which is still fine, looks great. So the waiter continues to serve nervously, and like the whole scene already is building some tension. Everyone is like, what the hell is going on here? And then we see this very intense shot of the waiter. It has slight movement, and the shot just creates incredible suspense, as he just looks super nervous, but you don't know yet. I mean, he could also just be overworked. In any case, we can agree on that he really doesn't look good, which is the purpose of this shot. It also has pretty direct lighting from the top right corner, which makes it look a bit ugly on purpose because he's also sweating. It continues with a tear of sweat that is dropping on the table. This shot is just simple top lit by like a very small LED panel that you can also kind of see on the table. The shadow of the waiter disappears for a bit more suspense. The next shot, I remember when I was watching the movie, felt a bit random, but it's very effective because it's like kind of getting you outside of the scene again, and for some reason you are wondering even more what the hell is going on. You're just questioning yourself, why are they randomly playing there? By the way, I think this one is just lit with the orange top light inside the room. Now we go back to the OTS towards our main character. The guy starts to feel like, something is going wrong here. And the other guy is just eating his bread like nothing is happening at all, which makes it feel even more weird. So you can see there's like a few layers of stuff that is slightly off. We are not so many shots in yet, but we already have the sweaty waiter. We have musicians playing in the background for no reason. And we have the guy that is eating his bread in a super disgusting way. Now for the first time, we have more attention on the mom with the baby. The viewer at this point doesn't know yet why she is important and why she's getting introduced, but this one is simply a short introduction shot. I would say this one is top lit with an edge light just coming from the top right side of the frame. Then we're going back to the OTS of the bad guy again. There's not much happening. He's just like continuing to eat his bread in a horrible way. And then we have this single shot where main character 1 is just trying to act cool and drinking his coffee slowly. Again, we just have like a top light in place and an edge light from the top right corner of the frame. Now we have a single shot of the bad guy. I think the acting here is quite good because you can feel that he's somehow in power. Then there's also the single shot of this guy, which is just like a completely random guy looking like a spy back in the background. This is also like an introduction shot for him. I really like this shot, to be honest. It has so many beautiful layers. It has beautiful practical lighting in the back. It has two slightly blurry foreground things together with like the iron wall in front of him. It just leads the eye towards the center of the character. The lighting is actually quite hard to guess on that one. The series of single shots continues with the single shot of the waiter here. The camera is now slightly moving and he kind of tries to play innocent. You can see that there are also like 3 practical lights in the background again. Light from the left side of the frame and 2 top lights, one for the bar and one behind the main character to give him an edge light on the forehead again. Alternatively, I could also think of a light panel that is maybe on the top left corner of the shot. Another character introduction single shot happens now, and that is the woman on the balcony. I was actually discussing with a friend why she is important for the scene and why they are showing her, especially because I think that this shot was really hard to light. They probably had to use a crane and just blast a very, very big light onto the wall and her. But yeah, we just came to the conclusion that she is mainly a native person from the area that can already tell when something is about to happen. It's just like another layer of suspense again. The next shot is one of the most important and also one of my absolute favorite shots of this scene. The camera is pushing in quite heavily on this one for the first time again, indicating that some action is about to happen. They used the cleaner again as a foreground. You can also see the birds again in the background, and you can also see the woman on the right side. The light position is pretty much the same as it has been in all the other shots. There's just a very strong light on the right side of the frame. But this time there is the waiter coming with a pistol shooting at him. At least that's what we think. Because, of course, this is a masterpiece regarding suspense. You think that the main character should be hit by the bullet, but it turns out he's not. Yet. Because the waiter actually hit the woman with the baby in the background, which gives the scene time to show this frontal shot of the killer and the main character in one frame. It has super nice leading lines, by the way, as the practicals lead towards the corridor. The key light is now on the left side of the frame, getting some light on his face. And then there's also this second kind of key light, which is now functioning more as an edge light in this little niche where it has been all the time. They most likely put it a bit higher this time on a C-stand. I mean, just look at the chairs, you can kind of see that it's coming from the top right direction this time. Now, everyone is wondering what the hell is going on? Why is he not hit yet? And the director decided that this is a perfect time to show a reverse angle with a random espionage guy appearing for like 1 second to give the whole scene some more movement. So the next shot, I think, is perfectly fitting this specific time of the scene. It gives the viewer the perspective and the feeling of the main character that he's experiencing right now. He feels trapped and he doesn't know what's going on, and that is also what should transfer to the viewer. That's why we basically only have like a lit background and an edge light coming from the right side of the frame that you can see on his right shoulder. We are just hoping now that he doesn't shoot a second time, which in the next shot he does. It's basically the same shot as before, so we don't have to analyze the lighting here. So as we have gone through the scene completely now, we can just count how many hints of suspense they gave us here. The first one was the waiter that was sweating with the teardrop on the table. The second one was this off musician shot. The third hint was him eating the bread in a very weird and confident way. After that, we're just like wondering what the guy with the newspaper is doing in the background. The waiter is also getting extremely suspicious. And then it kind of gets all confirmed by the native woman that lives in the area that is like feeling that something is about to happen. I could also do a whole video about this amazing sound design that they have in this scene. Just pay close attention to it. It is really, really good as well. If you enjoyed this video though, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm trying to put as much work in as I can, and every single subscriber would mean the absolute world to me. I wish you guys a wonderful week, or whatever, a wonderful weekend whenever you watch this. My name is Tom. See you next time.